Welcome back to Fight News Now, and the mixed martial arts action is even busier on Saturday as we also have a Cage Wars doubleheader coming at you Saturday afternoon, kicking off here at Fight Network at 1 p.m. Eastern. Then we'll be back later that night following the UFC 180 card with the live post-fight press conference from Mexico City, which gets underway approximately at 1 a.m. Eastern. But now it is time for the shift. The latest installment of the Assassin's Creed series comes out this week with Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Unity, with the ability to have up to 4 players engaging in online play at the same time. And we now take a closer look at this highly anticipated release.
It is sometimes hard to remember how easy life was before the world changed. Now people are starving in the streets, and those with the will to fight back are imprisoned, or worse. Where am I?
In hell.
So you play as Arnaud Victor Dorian.
The life I had is gone.
Your father was an assassin, Arnaud.
He grew up, his father was taken from him early in life. His adopted father was also taken away from him too. So he's a guy who's dealing with a lot of personal frustration and trying to figure out how the events of the French Revolution shape his life.
Are you prepared to travel the Eagle's path?
Boys ready.
Rise, assassin.
Our big breakthrough is really the customization of Arnaud. So you can customize everything, his loadout, his skills, his weapons, everything that he wears as well too. So basically what it is you're customizing Arnaud. So no matter who you are, you're customizing the main player of the game. We've really tried to revamp the fight controls on Assassin's Creed this time around. So we went through, we felt it was too easy in past AC games. We take a lot of parrying, a lot of cool time moves so you can actually counter your opponent. And then on top of that, we add a lot of new weapons that you can have in the game as well too. A lot of new stealth tools, a lot of new navigation tools, and of course a lot of new fight tools to really enhance and give more power to the player. Stealth is a huge pillar. We have a lot of achievements for the player in there too, but for the first time in Assassin's Creed, we have a crouch button. You can actually sneak up, you can take cover behind objects. We've took some of the learnings that we've had from Splinter Cell games and other games as well too to really add those really good elements from those games into our game as well to really enhance the experience.
Welcome to Paris, at the height of the French Revolution.
So what we did was we took a lot of the systemic learnings that we had, a lot of the things that people liked in Black Flag, we brought them back to the city. We wanted to feel more like the roots, back to like an AC2 type game too, where we really could actually give you an entire city to explore. So I mean, that's the biggest thing. We have the biggest city we've ever created there. We have awesome open world gameplay. We have this cool thing that we have called the 1,000 Stories of Paris, where basically it's not just you go out, you kill a target, you come back, you get a reward. We have these really cool hundreds and hundreds of missions where you can go out and it actually tells a story of what happened to the people, what happened to the main characters. We just tried to take some of our learnings from Black Flag and actually go back to the roots of the game.
Napoleon? You certainly don't look like a blood-crazed revolutionary.
We saw on forums that people really wanted to play with their friends in the actual, city that we play in, not the one-off multiplayer levels. So if you're just walking through the streets of Paris, your friend can actually join your world and walk around with you through that too. Now, mission-wise, they can't play the single-player campaign, but we have a bunch of co-op missions in our game. We have the standard co-op mode, which is basically a side story in Paris. So we tell just events that happened throughout the French Revolution. And we also have these side activities called heists that you can play with your co-op friends as well too. So basically, if you go through and you can actually steal stuff like priceless art, and you can do it stealthily, we reward the player for being stealthy. We have our season pass that we're going to do when we launch the game. We have DLC that's going to take place in the city of Saint Denis. It's a separate thing called the Dead Kings that will come out sometime around December. Outside of that, we have anybody who gets the season pass can also download a new game that we had another studio work on as well too that takes place in China as well. So it's not part of the AC Unity game, but it's a standalone game that you'll get access to as well too. But you can definitely expect more content DLC wise in the upcoming months after we release the game.
And from Assassin's Creed Unity, we now send things over to you, the people. It's our weekly viral video which best encompasses the growth of the human mind and Darwin's waiting room, awaiting these fine folks. Makes you wonder what the helmet is actually protecting. And that will bring Fight News Now to a close. We thank you all for catching this week's show, as well as all of our guests for joining us as we get set for the UFC, Bellator, and World Series of Fighting to present their cards on a very busy Saturday. And for fight fans, you can catch the MMA Report this Thursday at FightNetwork.com in the podcast section, featuring my guest Jimmy Smith chatting Bellator 131. We'll also have the UFC 180 post-fight press conference Saturday night after the card. For John Ramdin, Robin Black, and the Fight Network crew, I'm John Pollock. We'll speak to you all next week.